What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And man, what a awesome draft tonight on night one on the April 26th edition of Friday Night SmackDown. And then not only that, but we also got some storytelling moments in the angle between the LWO and Legado del Fantasma on who exactly attacked Dragon Lee, and you won't believe who exactly did it. And then for those who predicted who could have possibly been the suspect that assaulted and brutally attacked Dragon Lee from behind about a couple weeks ago on the Go Home WrestleMania edition of SmackDown, now we got our answer, and whoever did the obvious prediction who could have did it, y'all were absolutely 100% correct. But without any further delay, and also we had a thunderously phenomenal main event between the American Nightmare and his opponent, for the his opponent of the night, which is none other than a certain former NXT champion that asked for. Challenge him in a match later on tonight. But we're gonna get to that right here, right now. With this is where we got the what's that we got this in-ring contract signing segment, I believe, start off the show. My bad if I get it wrong. I'm just looking up stuff on. I just looked up stuff in the highlights on what exactly what happened on Friday Night SmackDown tonight on the night one WWE Draft edition of the show. But yeah, this is where we start off from there, and I don't know who did the first pick of the draft. I think it was Triple H, but like I said, I had to look at stuff from their website on the highlights because my local news station decided to come on at the right time. Sarcastically, and then this is where they start letting all the citizens and the suburban. The suburban citizens and city citizens to look out for the severe weather, because they're on a warning of one, like in my local city or city in town, but where am I at? It was stormy, let alone any other bad weathers whatsoever. So understand what was the point for the local news station had to come on and had to ruin the first hour of Friday Night SmackDown when it was all in vain. I don't see what point from that. I'm sorry about that, but at the same time, I managed to watch the highlights and see what happened on tonight's draft, and it was absolutely phenomenal, if you ask me. The best way to start off to say. But anyways, without any further delay, this is where we got AJ Styles saying we have not before I signed this, we have not wrestled in a match before, but we were down into the same roads. We ride into the same roads, I believe, something like that. We went on the same roads. That's what he said. Instead of saying road, he said roads, with an H and no A. But yeah, you get the point. But yeah, he said roads, road. And this is where fans are like, what? And then this is where it's and Cody, are you? Yeah, you were the most successful man outside of WWE, just like me. And then. And he was and then when I was before I joined WWE, I had a match with this guy that you might know very well, and then he gave me plenty of advice, and then he was and you know exactly who I'm talking to, and guess who that exact same. He was I guess who that guy was that gave me the exact same advice he gave you, and that guy that told the man that we are, and this the same man that we know today. And the fans were chanting, what? I was why y'all saying, why you saying what for? Like, this is just a totally out of character moment, like for him to say this about complimenting and praising not only himself but Cody Rhodes as well, of how to be the of them being a successful world championship main event superstars that they are, or professional wrestlers now, because they're going by the pro wrestling name and they ditched the sports entertainment concept. But you get what I'm trying to come from. You get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, this is where AJ Styles like, you know that, man, it was none other than the American Dream, Rhodes. And I was like, yeah, that's true. And then I heard recently from a fellow YouTuber that he wrestled his dad before. The only Rhodes in the family that he fought in a wrestling ring, except it was WWE and TNA in 03, which that was like 21 years ago. Like, I cannot believe it's been over 2 decades ago. And that was the last time he faced the Rhodes, but he never got a chance to face the American Nightmare, because once he joined WWE, like, Cody Rhodes was on his way out of there, like, when he was playing the role of Stardust. But ever since 2022, 2 years ago, he made his return. And he's been trying to make a huge comeback by finishing his dad's story and his own for the WWE Championship. But anyway, this is where we got AJ Styles to continue on the mic for a second. And he's like, now you got to carry the weight of the championship and the legacy of your family. Like, and again, I look at this belt, precious belt right here. Like, I never held on to the titles in 5.5 years ago. And it's not just this leather and gold, you know. And he's like, this is what he said. And he's like, in that backlash, like, I'm gonna see if you can carry it for long. And the fans like yeah, but we'll see that about that. And we don't. And there's nothing that you can't do about it, because like last time we checked, like whenever you get a title shot from the last 5 years, you always lose. And then this is where AJ Styles signed the contract. This is where he's like, your turn, Nightmare. And then this is where Cody Rhodes like you. And he was like, I had to say that you were known as the honor day excellence. I respect it. And he's like, and I have much mutual respect for the past that we where we come from. Like it's very similar. Like, if you ask me, like, I show pretty of respect. He's like, that's right, go by the wayside, like at WWE Backlash. And then this is where AJ Styles like, I'm here. And then this is where, right, you've been, I can tell, get it up to agree, like, you've been here before, like, and even before you even signed with WWE. I was like, yeah, that's true. Like, he faced against, he was in a match against a guy that's formerly known as a superhero, that's now in the backstage role, like in the executive right, which we saw him the night later on. But anyway, this is where Cody Rhodes continues saying, like, you can get. And he was like, he's something that he's like, but you can't carry the weight. Like, you're saying that I can't, like, you give me all this compliments and praise, but you're assuming that I can't carry the heavy burden of the weight of this championship. But what, like, it, and he was like, and this was like, and he continues saying, like, I've been told by the man that trained me very well, and he told me, like, it's more about the championship, like, and it's not about being the champion, it's about keeping it. Like, that's what makes you a excellent champion. And then this is where he then added, and he's like, he's like, and he's like, and this, like, and my success is not only because of my last name, but if I put CODY in front of it, like this piece of paper, that means that we never, like you may have fought in a man that was known as a Rhodes, but when I put in the ink, like, we're gonna be. We're going to finally make this official, and then this will be the man that you have definitely never faced before in overall in wrestling. Like, it's a level playing field. Like, and no matter how phenomenal that you are, like this is not about a dream match. It's not a dream match, AJ. Like, it's a must-win match. And fans are like, yeah. in order to keep your privilege is to be known as a WWE champion in a memorable way. And then this is where Cody Rhodes did finally sign his contract. This is where then AJ Styles was like, "It's a beautiful thing that you finished your story almost a month ago." And then this is where he was like, "And then you get the championship, but it's a darn shame that your title reign is going to end sooner as soon as this coming month's pay-per-view Backlash." And then this is where they shook hands. This is where I believe we got Carmelo Hayes then challenged Cody Rhodes for in a match in the main event tonight. And let me tell you that match hit it right out of the park. Like, you could see Carmelo Hayes could be the next future challenger for Cody Rhodes' undisputed WWE Championship. May not be today, or maybe rephrase that, tonight or tomorrow or next week, anytime, anytime soon. But it could be soon later on in the next few months. Like, you never know. But let me know in the comments down below on what your thoughts on to that match and what your thoughts on Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles as contract signing segment. Let me know right down in the comment section right down below. But this is where we got Triple H then announced. I believe it was Triple H, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me if I'm making a horrible, huge mistake. But it's just that my local news station was wasting for the first 40 minutes to an hour talking about this godforsaken severe weather. Like, I understand why would they talk about that if there's nowhere nearby. I don't see no point in that whatsoever. But anyways, enough about pointing fingers at a certain news station. This is where we got tag team action with Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee taking on Legado del Fantasma's what's his name? Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo in the match. This is where we got Dragon Lee to start bringing the fight to, I believe, Humberto Carrillo. This is where then he throws him into the left corner side of the ringside area, hits him with a suicide, like a over front flip. What's that somersault? The suicide dive. This is where throw him back in the ring. This is where he hits a crossbody right onto Humberto, but Humberto kicks out at 2.6, I believe. This is where he got him into a guillotine. This is where he got him in a guillotine choke. This is where then he Humberto Carrillo then go right onto the arms. Oh, I forgot to tell you that. Guess what WWE draft? I forgot before I continue. I want to say, tell you guys, guess who got drafted first? And I believe this was kind of predictable. But yeah, in the first draft and the first ever pick on SmackDown, it was the first pick was the EST herself, Bianca Belair, while the second pick on the first draft of Monday Night Raw is none other than main event Jey Uso. And then we got and then on the second ever SmackDown draft pick, on the third pick, it was Carmelo Hayes, which he's challenged Cody Rhodes in the match for an event match. And then on the fourth pick of the first round, on the second pick for Monday Night Raw, the draft pick goes to that's going as Seth Rollins. He's going to remain to the red brand because that main show. And two, Monday Night Raw decided to keep him on there, for plenty of reasons, which one of them could be possibly for a certain, so he could be continuing to be in the feud with a certain Scottish warrior and a Chicago-made star, which we're going to see this Monday on Raw. But let me know in the comments below if this was a perfect pick to be on be on the draft like on the first round. Do you think so, or do you think that it should have been like the other way around, or one of these wrestlers should have been drafted to the opposite show on where they actually where they were really draft to and on tonight's night one of the draft? Let me know in the comments down below what you. I think they did an awesome, excellent job by keeping the likes of Carmelo Hayes and Bianca Belair on SmackDown, and same with Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins and main event Jey Uso to Raw respectively on this round. But let me know what y'all's opinions are in the comments. But back to the match with Legado del Fantasma's Angel Garza Humberto Carrillo against LWO's Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, which we got Humberto Carrillo then got the upper hand. He tried to go for a back to belly maneuver. Dragon Lee started elbowing him. This is where Dragon Lee tried to run right to the top. But this is where Humberto Carrillo did the sliding duck, but this is where the referee wasn't looking. This is where we saw Angel Garza pulls up the ropes, so Dragon Lee can fall right through, crashing down and burning right into the bottom corner side of the ringside area. This is where Rey Mysterio's like, "How could you allow this happen, Jessica? I thought you were better. You know better than this." But this is where we got Humberto Carrillo back into the ring. But this is where Dragon Lee got himself off of him, kicking himself right off. This is where then he gives Rey Mysterio the hot tag right into the out of the right with him being them in the ring. This is where it's a flying head scissor right on the Angel Garza once he got tagged in by his cousin Humberto. This is where then he puts him right into the upper left side. This is where he gets flipped right over by Angel Garza. But this is where he hits a big right hand right to his face. Gets right to the top rope in the upper left. This is where he hits a flying senton right onto Angel Garza. This is where he kicks him right in the. This is where then he was. This is where this is where he kicks him right in the gut. Like this is where then he goes for a sunset flip, code red bomb right in the ring, and he wouldn't have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that. If it wasn't for that meddling Legado kid, Humberto Carrillo, saving his cousin. And then this is where Humberto Carrillo then picks up the ball. This is where Dragon Lee then went up right up onto the. This is where he went right to the upper left side corner. This is where we got. This is where what's his name? This is where Humberto Carrillo. Humberto Carrillo tried to go for a powerbomb. Rey Mysterio hurricane round him out of the ring on the left side. This is where Angel Garza kicks him right in the gut. This is where he puts him up. Try to go for some kind of a driver. This is where Rey Mysterio flips out of it, but he gets kicked instantly right into the midsection by Angel Garza. This is where Angel Garza tried to go for a double underhook face bunch, look like a fairy tale ending. This is where we got Rey Mysterio then trips him right into the left side ropes, into the face and torso first, right into the middle ropes on the left side. In position for a 619, but before he hit the move, he tags in Dragon Lee, and then run right to the left side. 619, Tim. This is where we got Dragon Lee, then hits his finisher, this is where what's the name of the move? It's called the Project Dragon, and he got the 1, 2, 3. And the winner of this match, the team of the LWOs, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. And I'll give a humongous congratulations, but y'all would not know what was going to happen next. And WWE showed that they're most definitely the new era in the wrestling world. Like they showed the new of the Renaissance Triple H era, because this is where they followed up on who exactly attacked Dragon Lee about a few weeks ago. And before the LWO can even finish off celebrating, this is where we got Legado del Fantasma's Santos Escobar and Electro Lopez came out. Whoa, everybody, hold that celebration now, and this is where he said it in Spanish as well. I guess for those that don't understand English, but it's where he's like, I've been known to do everything, and I've done a lot of things, but a liar just ain't one of them. I am not a liar. And then this is where he then took off his shades. When I said that I did not attack Dragon Lee, the evening before WrestleMania 40, I I meant it, every single word of it. Like you could do what's that, a lie detector test, and I could be you could say I'm telling the truth because I did not lay a finger right onto Dragon. And this is where he was like, and Electra like been working on for from the past few weeks of trying to collect some security footage like on that particular evening and at April 5th. April 5th of 2024. This is where he's but we finally found out who it, and Ray. I hate to ruin your celebration and poop your be a party pooper, but but what you're about to see is definitely going to shock you. And I was like, well, I was thinking to myself I don't think everything not that much really shocks them these days, especially when it comes to some, well, especially some when it comes to betrayals. So I'm not sure if he's going to be very shocked on who did indeed attack Dragon Lee entirely, but he could be oh no, he'll be maybe a bit shocked, but at the same time he would be very regrettable of who be in a regrettable mood, once he see who exactly attacked him. But this is where he's like, what you're gonna see is the truth, and you're gonna fuck. But this is where Central was you're gonna be what you're gonna see on this footage that we have, who exactly attacked him behind the security camera is gonna be very, very interesting for you. He's like, I'm not sure it's gonna be good, but we're the only way to see this. This is where we saw somebody throwing Dragon Lee face first according to the footage. We saw somebody throwing Dragon Lee right into that garage door, in the backstage where they let SUVs and trucks in that. That's where he threw him right into the trash can, and then this is where and this is where he revealed himself as none other than, wait for it, drum roll, the Caribbean cool Carlito. This is where Carlito was looking nervous and afraid. Then we can clearly see the back of him, back of his head on the footage of him attacking his so-called teammate. And then this is where he went right behind him when they show his face. This is where he pushes Dragon Lee right into Rey Mysterio's face and then knock him down so he wouldn't stop the attempt of the backstabber and the backstabber right onto Dragon Lee, which he planned to do, which he did. He backstabbed him right after he pushed Dragon Lee right into Mysterio and backstabbed. This is where he ran out of there like a coward, and this is where Santos Escobar was laughing ha ha. This is why you should be careful on who to make your friends with. And I was like, yeah, man, Rey Mysterio just cannot take a break of betrayal. First, it was Dominic Mysterio, back in 2022, and then 2023, it was Santos Escobar, and then now in 2024, it's Car freaking Lito. What is up with you guys? Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. What's next? We're gonna have him in some kind of a WrestleMania angle with Rey Mysterio. I'm not sure, but maybe we could see him joining Legado del Fantasma. We could do some kind of an 8-man tag match, I guess. We could have Santos Escobar, and then we got Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, and Carlito on left side, while the right side would see Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wild, and Cruz del Toro. But maybe you can start off with first a tag team match I'm not sure about Backlash. I'm not sure about that, but we can see the ring. Or even Clash at the Castle, see Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee take on Santos Escobar and Carlito in a tag team action. But let me know in the comments below on what you think where it's going to be landing at about that. But next up, we got Braun Breaker This is where we got Braun Breaker in a match, which it lasted for barely 30 seconds because once he got in the ring, he was facing none other than Cedric Alexander. This is where he hit him forearms right to the face. This is where then he run right to the right side ropes to back himself up and try to hit him with a big move. But this is where Braun Breaker was ready for him. He tried a payout win with a huge spear right onto him, which he only got which lasted for a half a minute. He got the 1, 2, 3, and this is why he's this is why he's main roster material. Like, even though like they made Cedric Alexander like a glorified jobber, but at the same time they like Cedric Alexander is not really a jobber when you give him a chance. So, like, if he could do this to Cedric Alexander, imagine what he could do somebody that's like mid-card champion or even main event world champion worthy. But yeah, let me know in the comments below on what your thoughts on this match. Do you think that this was needed or this was unneeded? And I was thinking to myself, like, where was Ashante the Adonis? Like, aren't they supposed to be having some kind of some kind of tag team alliance going on in the in the SmackDown tag division or something, or even Raw if they get drafted at all? Like, I was like, let's hope he's not going to be future endeavor soon, and then Cedric Alexander's not so what's that far behind from his supposed to be tag team partner. Like, if there's no other plans for the former NXT Cruiserweight Champion at this time. But let's move on to the next slide. We got the next draft picks, which we had which is the second round, which was with Michelle McCool and Tori Wilson. And let's see right here who exactly they draft on the. Let's see. Let's see. Who they drafted to drafted the next draftees. Before that, this is where we got Tiffany Stratton. Then went up to Nick Aldis. She was like, "Hey, like, I bet you saw what I did last week, like, because of course you did, because I'm the center of the universe. Like, I put both Bayley and Naomi in their place, and then I did none of them could even do in that match they were in, and then I'm like, and I think I deserve a shot at the WWE Women's Championship." She was like, "What are you waiting for?" And then this is where Nick Aldis was like, you know what you like? Yeah, I did saw what you did, and then but what you did was absolutely unacceptable here. Like, luckily I'm not going to suspend you or any other punishment that I have in my mind, luckily somebody talked me out of it, and they want me to put you in a match against Naomi in a number one contenders match. And if you win, then you're going to have a shot at Bayley at Backlash. Right, and this is where what's her name? Tiffany Stratton was like, who, and they what kind of moron decide to come up with a very idiotic idea like that? And this is where Bayley was like, "Ding dong, hello, it was mine. You didn't see Barbie or whatever she called her." And this is where then Bayley was like, and then this is where we got oh yeah, that's what Bayley said. She was like, "Yeah, you are welcome, by the way, for helping me get this situation. Because if Naomi wins, then she get a championship match that she was cheated out of last week. And then if you win, you finally get what you're gonna finally find out what it's like when you mess with the golden role model here." Well, she didn't say golden, but she's known as her singles singles match, in a singles run, she's known as the role model. But when she was in the tag team, which I can't bring up right now because she's in All Elite Wrestling, they were the golden role models back 4 years ago. But anyway, this is where she was like, and you're gonna feel like what it's like to mess with the role model. This is where Bailey was like, not Bailey, Tiffany Stratton was like, hey, I just have a better idea. Tiffany Piffany, how about me? You have a front row seat. See what you cannot do, what I can do, and I can do it better than you could wish you can. And then that's where Tiffany Stratton's like, and then that is beating Naomi and show who what's a real women's championship real women's championship wrestler looks like. She was like, but in the meantime, toodles. And then this is where she was getting ready for her match later on, which I'm seeing like for her, we're talking strong into this back and forth backstage right in front of Nick Aldis. I would say if she didn't say that, then I'll say this match would have been pretty tremendous. I guess the match would have been more tremendous if she was a woman of her word, and she could back it up by actually, but unlike her, Bailey actually did successfully defend her women's championship. The last time she was when it was against Naomi around a few months before around this time of the year, I would say, back in February, yeah. But let me know in the comments below for those who watch, and what your opinion onto the matter with Tiffany Stratton taking on Naomi in this number one contenders match, But moving on, this is where we got the draft picks, right afterwards, which is this is where we got, I believe, Michelle McCool then announced who's going to be the third pick of the third pick of SmackDown on the second round of the draft will be none other than the Apex Predator and the Viper, Randy Orton. And this is where we got then what's her name? Then what's her name? Tori Wilson then came out there. This is where she announced that on the second round, the third pick, that Raw pick, that's it is none other than the man that just squashed Cedric Alexander in that 30-second squash match, Braun Breaker. And then that's when they show Braun Breaker around the screen, heading over to the red brand. This is where then Corey Graves described it as a heartbreaker for Friday Night SmackDown, because they could have benefit off of Braun Breaker and maybe bring in Baron Corbin as the Wolf Dogs. But I'm not sure, even if they do reunite as the Wolf Dogs, it won't be SmackDown anytime soon, unless SmackDown does willing to trade them one of their superstars that's been drafted over to the SmackDown brand just to get Breaker back into the Blue brand. But I think they're gonna draft Baron Corbin this Monday, and then they're gonna be the top heel tag team on the Raw brand. Against they're gonna be in storylines perhaps with the likes of Awesome Truth, maybe DIY, or anybody who was drafted over to Raw, whether if they were originally on Raw or coming from SmackDown or even from NXT. But this is where we got this is where then we got Michelle McCool then announced the final pick of SmackDown from the second round, which is the fourth pick, that Friday Night SmackDown pick, and it was none other than the irresistible force, and the first time being known as the SmackDown Women's Star, Nia Jax. And yeah, she did wrestle back in 2021 in a feud with the likes of Sasha Banks and not Naomi. What's her name? Bianca Belair. Yeah, she was, but that was over for the Women's Tag Team Championship. And even though she did have a shot for Sasha Banks' SmackDown Women's Championship, she was still known as the Raw Women's Wrestler in the Women's Tag Division. Nia Jax was. But this time, the Irresistible Force, Nia Jax, will be exclusively on Friday nights in the Blue brand now. But next up, we got the final pick of Monday Night Raw, which is the fourth pick of tonight on the Night One's draft. Monday Night Raw select which was none other than Liv Morgan, yeah. Which I believe they picked her just to continue to put her on Raws because she got some unfinished business with Rhea Ripley and perhaps Becky Lynch, which I believe Becky Lynch remains on Raw or she's going to be picked on this Monday. I heard that they're not going to include championships this year because they're good because they want them to remain on their respective brands. Like with all the WWE championships are going over to staying on SmackDown, while the World Championships are going to be staying on Raw. Like the WWE champion, the women's champion, the WWE tag team champion, the United States champion, and maybe even the women's tag team champion are going to go over to stay on SmackDown, while on Raw they're going to remain with the World Heavyweight Championship, the Women's World Championship, and the World Tag Team Championship, and the Intercontinental Championship. And then maybe, just maybe, like if they have the Women's Tag Team Championship be exclusively on SmackDown, we could possibly see new sets of women's tag belts over on the Raw brand. Which, wait for it, they could be called the Women's World Tag Team Champions. And I don't think they should mimic the men's tag team. Maybe they should make them like the World Tag, like a hybrid of the original World Tag Team Championship back in the Ruthless Aggression era days. And we could it could be like shaped like kind of like the women's first women's tag team champions, only looking like more of big gold rather than be than golden and squared. There'd be more of a rectangular shape with a right strap. But let me know if you want to see that in the just drop a comment down below and of your opinion on that matter. If you want to see a second set of women's tag on the tag team belts on the main roster. But moving on, after the second round of the draft, this is where we got a recap of Tama Tonga attacking Tama Tonga, then crashing into the Kevin Owens when they didn't see him inside. This is where they show Nick Aldis say, you better take care of this, or there will be consequences. Or he said, losing will only be the consequences around here. That's what he said, like threatening to give him a huge punishment, or even what's that? Give him the axe of all the members of the bloodline, at least the new version of the bloodline, lose their jobs over this fender bender, I guess you could say. Now, I won't say really fender bender. I'll say more of this attempted murder to the prize fighter, I guess you could say. But anyways, yeah, this is where we got Paul Heyman then waited for Solo Sikoa. This is where he forgot to open the door for him, because that's what he's supposed to do. Like when whoever's the tribal chief from the bloodline, which it used to be Roman Reigns, now it's, I guess, Solo Sikoa. Now we haven't seen Roman Reigns since WrestleMania 40. Yeah. But this is where he's like, my bad. I'm so sorry. Like, I should have got I know, like, I was supposed to get the door for you, but I understand. I for now on, I'm gonna get the door. And this is where Paul Heyman was like, this was Solo was like, okay, enough about that. Like, Paul, please tell me that the bloodline is in the they're in the draft pool, right? And then this is where Paul Heyman was like, unfortunately, I do not know that just yet. And I don't think that they are in the draft, at least not yet. I don't think they are in, at least not yet. That's what he said. And this is where then Paul Heyman was like, this is where then Solo Sikoa said, give me all the information. And then this is where he's like, yes, my enforcer. I mean, tribal chief. Like, Roman Reigns opted out of the draft. And then for the show, and with all due respect, Like he's and unfortunately because of that, like nobody's not sure where exactly you and your MFT is going to be heading off to on the draft. It could be anywhere, and this is where Souls calls like, "Oh, this is just great." Like he's like, then he gave a sneaky smile. He's like, I think I have an idea. And then we found that out, like what he was smiling about, because we're gonna see where they're gonna be landing on, like during the draft in the third round soon enough. But you just have to wait and see where exactly they're gonna be landing at. But this is where he turns around. This is where then he start waiting for Tomatonga. Tom, Tomatonga then came out of the car. This is where then Sosa Cole's like. That's where he tells this to Paul Heyman right here. Is there was like now Paul, like or Wiseman, like I need you to be there for us, and I want you to be there for us involved on what we're gonna do next one more time. And then this is where Paul Heyman was trying to understand what he was talking. But before he can react to or even answer any questions, this is where he stepped right back because he saw Kevin Owens running like an angry bull out of the bullpen. This is where he started coming in, started hitting strikes on both Solo Sikoa and what's his name, Tomatonga. This is where he started hitting right hands arms and just doing right to the wall on the right side. And I was like, where the hell Solo went right when the security guards came up and broke up the fight? And I was like, really? Like, why you couldn't do that when Tomatonga was trying to not trying, like when you were trying to stop Tomatonga to beating Kevin Owens to death a week ago? Like, what about like that? We weren't in a hurry for that. Like, even though it's too tough to pull off of the fight, but that doesn't mean you use that as an excuse. But let me know in the comments down below where was Solo was at. I think making sure that him and Tonga stay on Night SmackDown, or the Bloodline remain on SmackDown. I should mean to say, but yeah. But some just tell certain Oos is going to reignite with his brother over onto the Raw brand. The only one way to find out if it is Monday on Raw. And I can think of two good reasons why. Just keep watching to the very end because it's going to get very, very interesting. But yeah, let's move on to the next slide. This is where we got. This is where we got Bianca Belair then come out like in an exclusive interview with not exclusive. I was talking about on stage interview with what's her name, Kayla Braxton. That's what she did. This is where then she was like, yeah, she kind of congratulated her on being the first, and then being the first overall pick. And then this is where she then said like, and let's talk about Backlash that 1 week from tomorrow, you're gonna be getting a big opportunity of a lifetime with you and your new tag partner Jade Cargill taking on the Kabuki Warriors of Damage Control, Asuka and Kairi Sane for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And then do you and your tag partner Jade Cargill and this is where she has how that flying that victory being on the stage on that magnitude what's your thoughts on that magnitude what's your mind is like on the possible magnitude of becoming the new women's tag team championship in Lyon. And then this is where Bianca Belair answered that. She was I'm just really hoping that me and Jade are gonna I was hoping that Jade will join me on SmackDown this coming Monday on the second night draft, and I had a lot of battles with Damage Control from the past 2 years, and then I had a lot of amazing people coming in to tag with me against Damage Control, and I finally gave Damage Control what exactly they deserve, and everything they did to me and to this women's division. And then Jade was the perfect teammate to help me out, like finishing off what Damage Control started back in 2022, and that backlash, like the Kabuki Warriors, gonna have a reason to show. They're gonna have no more reasons why they should show back up on Friday Night SmackDown, like which Bianca Belair was assuming they're gonna come over. They're gonna be she's assuming that she's gonna be drafted over to Raw, which that's still a possibility, and we could see them going after for possibly like a potential women's tag team, like I've been saying, like if Jade Cargill gets drafted over to SmackDown, and if there's any plans that they're going to keep the women's tag team championship over on SmackDown as an exclusive championship over here, over on the SmackDown brand. But this is where fans are like, yeah, you tell Bianca, like, let's hope you and Jay can do it. And then this is where Bianca Belair start doing her hand move, like, yeah, it's going to be a piece of cake. But this is where we got the Kabuki Warriors came out there, like Asuka and Kairi Sane. And then that's where they start arguing with Bianca Belair. It was like, yeah, enjoy those belts while you can, because those are going to be in possession of me and my Storm sister. And this is where Asuka and Kairi Sane's like, ha ha ha, like where like if you think so, like, where's she at? Like, and she was like, I would like to see her try to back you up. And this is where she did, and this is where her music came in. This is where they started arguing, going back and forth. They're like, yeah, so what if she backs you up? But that doesn't mean it's gonna. That doesn't mean when they start continuing to argue. Like this, we're in the middle of the arguments, like that they had on one another off the microphone. This is where we got Solo Sikoa. It was Tama Tonga and Kevin Owens just beating the hell out of each other. This is where Kevin Owens was winning until Solo Sikoa out of the evens. This is where then he started hitting right hands until Kevin Owens and hit right hands, start going back and forth playing wrestling tennis, even though they weren't in a match. But this is where then the security guards and the producers were coming out there, including Shane Helms, which for those that are unaware, he's also known as the Hurricane. This is where This is where he nearly got collaborated by Tama Tonga in one angle, like when he started hitting left and rights and headbutts right onto the security guard. This is where he's like, oh, I'm not trying to get in. Not trying to get into it, and I'm not trying to get myself into a sticky situation, but I'm just doing my job, like before, so no one doesn't get hurt, and to let them know that it's not okay to fight in y'all's own hands, because if you do, then there's going to be some consequences when it comes to management, of course. But this is where that the bloodline Solo and Tama Tonga did not give a damn what the security guards and the producers were. This is where then Jamie Noble tried to pull off Tama Tonga, but there's nothing that he could do. Like he was in a very very vulnerable position until the man that he thinks is a snake came out there, which he is. But yeah, or should I say the man that he's jealous that he cannot ride all the Disneyland rides. I should rephrase that. But enough about the jokes. This is where then the point is Randy Orton came out to save his SmackDown best friend Kevin Owens. This is where then This is where then Randy Orton came in. This is where he started bringing in fights right on to bringing in the fight to Tama and Solo, like hitting some clotheslines. Like first with Tama Tonga coming in. This is where he hit the clothesline at him. He hit some big right hands right onto Solo Sikoa until he tried to hit the three most devastating letters in all sports entertainment to clock him out. But this is where Solo Sikoa already ran out by the time before he can even do the attempt and begin with. This is where Randy Orton was like, "Come back here! I thought you were all that. I thought you were too big boy. Like you two big boys couldn't overcome the Viper, huh?" This is where Randy Orton was like, "Yeah, not quite of a big and bad bloodline." Like he was like the only one, like the one thing I got to hand Roman Reigns. Like he would at least try to back up his word. And then this is where Randy Orton then gets Kevin Owens back up. He's like, "I'm sorry I got involved in your business." And this is where Kevin Owens like, "No." And this is where he gave him a big hug. He's like, I appreciate you helping me out of taking them down. And then this is where it's like, yeah, like we're going to take care of these two suckers right here. And I was thinking to myself, like, they need to definitely keep Kevin Owens on SmackDown. And luckily they just drafted Randy Orton on the second round of night one of tonight's draft. Like, because we could see both these we can see both of these guys be in a short-term tag team feud with the new version of the Bloodline with the new the so-called tribal chief, I guess you could say, and his MFT, what I'll say, my Forcer Tama, I guess you could say. Let me know what MFT stands for, like in this situation, like with the Bloodline. But something just tells me it's going to be either at the Go Home show or even at Backlash, the pay-per-view itself. We're going to see Kevin Owens and Randy Orton teaming up against Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. And what y'all thought onto this matter, let me know and write in the comment section right down below. This is where we got the Dudley boys coming out there and announced the third round of the draft. This is where we got I believe Bubba Ray Dudley announced the fifth pick on the third round of the draft. Is where he announced saying the fifth pick of round 3 SmackDown picks onto Friday Night SmackDown. This is where then he looked at it and he's like, I can't see. This is where fans start chanting, we want tables. And this is where it's like, unfortunately, there's nobody to throw someone through a table. So we're not going to do that tonight. Just where fans were very disappointed, but at the same time, they were excited that the Dudley boys made a cameo tonight on the third round, announcing the third round on who exactly is going to be drafted over to Raw and SmackDown. This is where they put in their signature glasses on, with Bubba Dudley's being the black ones with the white line in the middle, while Devon got the opposite color, which is white, but it got the black line in the middle, which is the complete opposite of Bubba Ray's glasses. This is where they put them right on to read exactly who exactly is going to go where. This is where we got Bubba Ray started, and it was the first. The third pick of the third round of the 2024, WWE draft, SmackDown selects. Now I'm like, drum roll, please. And this is where he did the pose, he did it with a line, though. He's like, LA Knight. And the fans are, yeah! And this is where they showed it around the screen that and this is where Wade Barrett hilariously said, yeah! SmackDown's keeping LA Knight. And then you know what that means. Since the champions are going to remain on SmackDown, the LA Knights happen to be drafted or continue to remain on SmackDown. It seems like he's going to go after a certain particular championship at one of the certain current champions, the SmackDown brand right now. And no, I'm not talking about Cody Rhodes. It's gonna be a certain champion that's currently on the roster that's gonna be wrestling at SummerSlam in his hometown, and you know where that's gonna be, which we talked about in the wrestling news. Yeah, the social media megastar. But yeah, we got LA Knight remaining on SmackDown, which Monday Night Raw was very disappointed that they didn't capitalize to bring in the megastar over onto the Red brand. But this is where we got Devon Dudley announced the fifth pick, the second pick on the third round, and the fifth pick from overall on tonight's Monday on the draft on Friday Night SmackDown. Monday Night Raw selected Monday Night Raw selected Ricochet, the one and only. And then this is where Ricochet then went right on to the and then this is where we got, and then this is where we finally saw who's exactly going to be the sixth pick, I believe, on the third round, which is none other than Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman of Bloodline, which Bubba Ray Dudley put the finger up right in the air, with saying they're the number ones, which I'm not sure about this version being the number ones at all, because I'd say he's the number one. Don't take this as a insulting way, Solo. It's the facts about what I'm about to say. Is the number one loser in all of WWE's roster in the current in this current era, I guess I could say. And if he was the number one of the roster on Friday Night SmackDown, or even overall in WWE, he would be getting a shot at Cody Rhodes' championship belt, not AJ Styles. If that was the case, if he was the number one guy, I'll say popularity maybe, but not when it comes to wins and losses. Even though they don't care about wins and losses, but it's just at this point, like when it comes to championship of earning a championship shot, like it kind of does. Until he can, Cody can start collecting wins of his, along with his popularity, then he can be on the level of Roman Reigns. But this is where we got the final pick of the third round of Night One's draft on Friday Night SmackDown. Like with Monday Night Raw's sixth selection of who's going to be going to their show is none other than the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, and you know what that means. It could be similar to LA Knight, except on the opposite show. Looks like he's finally gonna go for a certain mid-card championship right there. Whether if it's Sami Zayn or Chad Gable or anybody else that's gonna be champion over on that brand, they're gonna see him finally finish his story of becoming an Ultimate Grand Slam champion and finally win the championship that he has yet to collect in his belt collection from the past 15 years in WWE is a megastar like in his own right. But this is where we got Tiffany Stratton that came out this is where it came out in the ring. This is where then she grabbed on the Bubba Ray's hand. This is where she put it up like this. I was like, okay, whatever that means. Like I'm not sure why she did France and on this year's Backlash pay-per-view, which we saw like the match was a very tremendous phenomenon, but at the same time I did not agree with the ending. Like, and it showed like that Tiffany Stratton was only selling wolf tickets, I guess you could say. Like but it seems like she's still gonna get a shot against Bayley. It's just that the match finish didn't make any sense by the price of beans. Even though they're gonna fall up onto what happened, but at the same time, I thought that this was unnecessary, at least during the match. Like it could have happened after the match for all I care, but it should have just. I guess that it didn't even make any sense whatsoever. Even if they have something to follow this up on the go home edition of Friday Night SmackDown next Friday when they're in Lyon, but I think it would make sense for them to. But I think it would. Yeah, it would make perfect sense to have them show it like, and they could do some kind of match like with multi-women, like more than two women being involved into it. Like I would not mind it like doing it that way, but they should have they could have done it in a different way than what they did it tonight. So I hate to be that guy, but I'll say I don't say worst, but the least best moment in the finish of the match. But yeah, but as what I was saying, like before, as what I was saying, this is where we do got the match, like with Naomi getting the upper hand right onto the Tiffany Stratton, doing her on the outside, diving on her, going up right on the top rope. This is where then she try to go for a diving crossbody, but this is where Tiffany Stratton move out of the way, went right to the upper right side. This is where then Naomi then try to grab Tiffany Stratton, but Tiffany Stratton grabs onto her. She threw her upper torso first right into the ropes in the middle and the right side. This is where Tiffany Stratton ran right to the diagonal corner left and then hits a running hip attack right into the back of the head of Naomi. This is where then we got Tiffany Stratton then going for picking up the glowing superstar. Just where she draped her right onto the right on the middle ropes, right into the right side with her feet right onto the apron. This is where then she tried to follow it up, trying to go for some kind of a draping maneuver. But this is where she gets hit right into the ribs, shoulder, hit ribs and the belly, right onto Naomi's left shoulder. This is where then Naomi then grabs onto Tiffany Stratton. This is where she puts Tiffany's legs head right between her legs, like she was about to hit like a power bomb or power drive maneuver, but she did the power. It was like her version of MJF's springboard version of a power driver, with her like going right up on the air. This is where she hits her with her knees right going down onto the apron. This is where Naomi then was like, okay, that was very easy. Surprisingly, like normally we would saw Tiffany Stratton would have tried to counter it out and try to push me right off the apron. But luckily that none of that stuff did not happen. This is where we got Naomi then go for a split dive right onto Tiffany Stratton, or more like a split scissors kind of dive, I guess, which Bayley was cheering on. This is where Bayley was not Bayley. This is where Naomi was like, you know what time it is? What time is it? And then she was like, and this is where Bayley was like, yeah, I know, glow time. I was like, I'm not sure if you should be going with that name, because one half of that team of Glow Time is no longer in WWE. Not trying to be the negative Nancy here. I'm just saying and point out the logic and facts onto the matter. But yeah, I appreciate that reference and cameo, like with them saying that. But unfortunately, like the one that used to team with them and even won women's tag team championship with both women in three separate occasions, with Bayley teaming with Bayley twice with the women's tag team championship run, two different runs, like from 19 and 20 and in 22, like when she teamed with Naomi before they walked out of there, like before the regimes had changed, when John Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon was still in office as the WWE chairman and head of talent relation, and they wanted them to purposely lose in a losing effort against Bianca Belair and Ronda Rousey, respectively. But enough about talking negatively in the past, and talk more positively in the past and in the present as well, with Naomi throwing Tiffany Stratton right back in the ring. This is where then she continued doing her beat down right on to the center of the universe, right, by hitting this move. The what move is it? Like, well, the only thing I think of right now is Tiffany Stratton then try to then counter and start hitting strikes on her, and then this is where we start seeing both women doing playing wrestling tennis right onto each other, until Tiffany Stratton threw her right into the right side. This is where she tried to hit a running swinging clothesline, but this is where Naomi slides her head back with her knees sliding right into the canvas, into a pretty cool ducking spot. This is where Naomi hits a double pony kick right into the midsection, right onto Tiffany Stratton. This is where we got Naomi that followed up with a leg flying head scissors, or like a head scissors DDT right into the ground. A move that she used to do as her finisher, which I believe that's now her signature. This is where she tried to go for a pin right onto the center of the universe. But this is where Tiffany got the shoulder up at 2.7, I believe. But this is where then we got Naomi was like, you gotta be kidding me, like 2. And this is where that's where the referee was like, yeah, I'm telling you it's 2. Like, I'm being completely honest right now. This is where she started on, like, okay, I understand. But this is where the Naomi tried to go for that running bulldog maneuver. You hit, where she hits her opponent right into the face, right to Tina the turnbuckle, no matter what corner she is. She did that to her. She tried to do that to her. But this is where Tiffany Stratton throw her counter and threw her right into the turnbuckle instead, right face first. This is where then Tiffany Stratton then run right to the bottom corner ropes. This is where then she tried to go run charge right onto Naomi, but Naomi countered into a spinning running bulldog maneuver where she hit face first right onto the canvas. This is where then we got Naomi then hit a knee kick right into the face. This is where then she started hitting some slaps and then some forearms right to the face of the former NXT Women's Champion. But this is where Tiffany then answered back with a knee right to the gut. This is where then she tried to go for a famous suplex, I guess you could say, or a fancy suplex, whatever you want to call it. But this is where Naomi rolled her arm to an arm drag, hit a step up enziguri right into the face of the center of the universe. This is where then the glowing wrestler then got the guaranteed running bulldog right into the bottom right side, right onto the turnbuckle, where she hits her face first while she's still hanging on to the right side ropes, like she used to do back 9 years ago. I was like, it's not that often that she did it before, like in her first run, like a few recent years ago. But this is where Nia Jackson came from behind and clobbered poor Bayley, and when she was sitting right next to the commentator, came from behind right into the bottom right side. Is where then she picks up Bailey, hits her face first, right into the announce table, and when she does hit right hands right into the face of the women's champion. This is where Naomi tried to get involved and try to help out her best friend. This is where then Naomi then try to hit a clothesline right from behind of her cousin-in-law, but this is where Nia Jax spotted her. This is where she grabs onto her and threw her face first right onto Rita the ring post in the bottom right side. Referee had no choice but to stop the right into the turnbuckle. This is where Nia Jax scolded her cousin-in-law and told her to mind her business. And I was thinking like I know that they're trying to hype up Nia Jax moving over to SmackDown and possibly get trying to take over the women's division over here, and do that by making a statement and sending a message to Bayley, the current women's champion. But we do have to really do this by middle of this match. Like, why didn't you do it afterwards? Like, so you can show that Tiffany Stratton could prove and back up her words that she could get the job done more than Bayley could ever done last week. But it seems like that Bayley's the one that can actually do something that Tiffany Stratton cannot do, and that's retain her championship, championship wins, and not only that, but also win matches against Naomi, whether if it's by pinfall, submission, or DQ. But it just was very unnecessary, like for the end in the DQ. In my opinion, that I think that was very unnecessarily unneeded, like for Nia Jax to get involved and attack both Bayley and Naomi at this time. But yeah, not only that, like after Nia Jax to hit a tackle out onto both Naomi and Bayley right into their front part of their body, made them did one and like 3 feet in the air, like if they're them Charlie Brown kids. This is where we got Bayley and Naomi got rolled into the ring by Tiffany Stratton, by her taking advantage of this moment and hit the prettiest moonsault right onto both women. And I was thinking to myself, like, this means that Nia Jax is going to be some kind of bodyguard for Tiffany Stratton. They're trying to make Tiffany Stratton the next Alexa Bliss or something, like back in 2017 and 2018. Let me know in the comments below do you think that's what's gonna they're booking right here, or do you think this was just a one-off with Nia Jax helping Tiffany Stratton just because she does not like Bayley and Naomi, because they're genuine fan favorite baby faces? And do you think that Nia Jax is gonna get a shot at the WWE Women's Championship soon, or do you think that'll be later on after Tiffany with the role model? And so that wherever Tiffany Stratton is gonna be landing at on the draft, like on night 2, like whether if it's gonna be Raw or SmackDown, I think they're gonna do some kind of a multi-women match, like a 4-way perhaps, which will include Naomi and then Bayley and Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, which we could find Bayley could find a way to somehow win in this match, and we could get to see a continuous feud with the Irresistible Force trying to do everything in her power to defeat the role model, but you always come up short, which most of the fans and the internet enthusiasts that I might know that would not agree with Nia Jax continuously going to be getting opportunities after opportunities. I know one fellow YouTuber will not be happy about this. Like if he when he sees this, like whenever it's tonight or tomorrow, but when tomorrow when he makes a review video, like he's probably gonna say, why? Like, even though I could see her being on SmackDown, but why? Why is she going to be teasing that she's going to be next in line for the WWE Women's Championship? But for now, it looks like she's going to let Tiffany Stratton going to have her moment until when that time comes. Like if Stratton does somehow be Women's Champion or not, she's going to come after that. But I think Bayley's going to remain the champion, whether if it's going to be Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton, or even some kind of a 4-way match. But this is where we got a backstage interview with the Street Profits, like with Byron Saxton asking questions to the Street Profits and B-Fab about their match against A-Town Down Under, but they're not going to be drafted until Monday Night Raw. And then this is where they're asking them questions and he's like, and now you, Montes Point, like you got a shot against A-Town with those WWE Tag Team Championship gold. And then this is where Angelo Dawkins like, yes, sir, like. And then this is where B-Fab was like, it doesn't matter where we get drafted at. Next